Welcome to a brand new season of Scintillations, the podcast that explores what's now and what's next in consumers, culture, and the business of branding. This season, we'll be studying Swiftonomics. Join us as we talk to marketing experts, business leaders, and entrepreneurs about what makes Taylor Swift the best brand on the market. Listen in as we unravel the secrets behind her ability to capture hearts, minds, and market share, exploring what makes her a powerhouse of success. If you're a bona fide Swiftie, if you just don't get the hype, or you want to know what you can learn and apply in your own business, this season is for you. Now let's get started with your host, Erica first.
Good morning, Melissa. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me, Erica.
Why don't we get started with you telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Of course, sure. Well, thanks for having me. My name is Melissa Unsell-Smith. I am a self-proclaimed outlier, first and foremost. I'm also a serial entrepreneur. I have over 2 decades of experience in the tech and software sector, to be specific. And I've had a very successful bootstrapped multi-million-dollar software company that I've built over many, many years. However, I have a new venture, and that is Catalytic Icon, which really capitalizes on my talents as an automation and efficiency expert, a trusted mentor, and an ecosystem merger, and where I essentially have a community of amazing female entrepreneurs, and I guide them to create dreamy lifestyles while raking in profits and building quality relationships. I'm definitely a believer that life should be easy, abundant, joyful, and my ultimate vision is to help fellow entrepreneurs unlock their potential and grow at a rapid pace while finding extreme fulfillment in their lives.
That's a lovely mission. I wish I had met you earlier. So today we're going to be talking about Taylor Swift, obviously, and we're talking about her excellence at creating a sense of belonging. Now, as I mentioned before, to scare you, this is, in my opinion, the singular most important value that she has, that any company, any entrepreneur, anyone doing anything should capitalize, because everything else that she does in her ecosystem of marketing and activities is to build and to create a sense of belonging. You run a community. Why is belonging important?
Belonging is so important, I think, for a multitude of reasons. One, we live right now in one of the most magical times a human being can live in. We have an abundant wealth of information and access to everything, which is incredible. Unfortunately, there's a shadow side to that, which is you can feel very disconnected and overwhelmed if you don't have a core community and a place where you feel like you belong, to be able to really take in that information and use it to the best of the ability to benefit your life. And so when I was thinking about our conversation that we would have today, I really think what Taylor does an amazing job at is the sense of authenticity, vulnerability, and trans that really creates this belonging with her community, which is just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we've talked actually in a lot of the other conversations about authenticity and about her transparency, which we've kind of come to a conclusion that it is a transparency, but it's definitely a controlled transparency. I know, so I am almost 50, and despite the insults that I get from my daughter, I would definitely consider myself to be an enormous Taylor Swift fan. I don't know if I'd call myself a Swiftie, but it's just an age thing. And the reason why is not because of the bops, even though I did like that when I was younger, and they're still fun. But what I'm really drawn to is her incredible inability to articulate an emotion that we women in particular have been taught since birth to suppress, keep quiet, Don't say that. You don't want other people to think you're a loser. You don't want to seem uncool. Just like play it off, roll it off your back. And that she would say these things, especially as someone who's a billionaire, to write something like, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me. And so this vulnerability, as you say, to lay things out there really helps you feel seen and validated and with a very strong emotional attachment to someone you've never met before.
I completely agree. And what I love about this, and I do agree, like there's a layer of transparency, right? It's not all out on the table, but it's out there enough. And I think with that vulnerability, what I love about it from Taylor's perspective is it then gives her fans permission to do the same and be vulnerable. She is serving as an example. Two, I think you bring up a fantastic point. It's like we have ultimately lived in a culture of more masculine energy. And now Taylor is giving everyone permission to lean into that feminine side. And the third thing is, and something that you kind of alluded to, which I inherently think is the most pivotal thing that's happening with Taylor and her community, is as human beings, one of our core needs and want is to feel validated and to feel loved. And she brings the essence of that in what she does. And so that's what creates this belonging. That's what creates not only this one-way interaction, but it's this two-way interaction back and forth and between the fans. And it becomes this like amazing essence of belonging. It's incredible.
Yeah. And if we think about the hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy, it's one of the first two or three that belonging is necessary, not only from an emotional standpoint, but also literally from a numbers standpoint. You know, that
Yeah.
if you were alone in the savannah, your chances of survival were far less than if you were attached to a larger group. And in modern times, of course, that means a social group, some family. There's a ton of psychological studies that show that people with larger networks or people who feel like they belong to a group have longer life expectancies, have higher senses of resilience, can come back easier from difficult situations, and have a more optimistic outlook on life. Now, we could say it's easy for someone to do, like, oh, well, she's an artist, she writes about music. It's easy to create belonging. How would a brand go about doing that?
This is a tough one because with Taylor, you have direct access, right? And so, depending on brands and companies, whether you're selling a product or service, is there a way for that brand or company to offer direct access? And this becomes a bit of a challenge, I think, because the nature of brands are there are typically layers of that in different departments and different people and different ways you're distributing your services and your products. And so that accessibility is something that brands can and should really, really consider. And I think upon thinking about this more, I really believe that's why a lot of brands have this essence of celebrities or influencers promoting their products and services. But when I look at it, and I'm of an older generation too, I'm in my 40s, and I didn't grow up with social media. I didn't grow up with influencers in my face. So I see that as disingenuous, right? I'm like, that's great. That's amazing, but that doesn't resonate with me. And I'm not going to buy this product or service because blank person is highlighting it or showcasing it. So I think that creates a layer of difficulty to provide that accessibility. So I think having brands can really think about ways they can truly have an accessibility touch point with the product or service itself and layering in that vulnerability and authenticity piece. Because what I think when you see and look at what Taylor has built with her community, one of the things that you can very quickly identify is anyone, whether you're a Swiftie or not, is you can quickly identify any deficits in authenticity and vulnerability.
Yeah.
And so perhaps there's an opportunity there for brands to use that as an assessment. Where do we see deficits in our authenticity and vulnerability and the accessibility to what we're offering to our community, our customers, and our clients.
Yeah. And I think going back to the first three things that you mentioned, the authenticity, the transparency, and the vulnerability. And as we mentioned, it's a crafted transparency, which delivers on the authenticity through a sense of vulnerability. So it doesn't mean, the brand has to come out with some dark confession,
Right.
It
Exactly.
does within what its core values are, what its product benefits are, how it is benefiting someone's life. There are very deep emotional feelings attached to that. And I keep using toothpaste as an example of kind of the most boring category. But even within the realm of toothpaste, right? The thought of going out with dirty teeth or something or bad breath, things like that. There are very deep human emotions that are attached to that we all identify with. And so there is terrain even in the most unseemingly obvious category. A couple of things I wanted to mention off of what you were saying there. One of the first things that I've noticed also about companies where I find it difficult, Taylor has built over time, right? She didn't come out immediately and deliver, but she has been true to brand over the last 16 years while reinventing herself every single time. Obviously, the 16-year-old Taylor and the 34-year-old Taylor are two very different iterations, yet her core brandness has always been the same. And one of the things that I find in brands, particularly now that I see so many of them kind of lost at sea, is they're changing their brand strategy, their brand essence on a yearly basis. There is nothing that says inauthentic as much as a brand that redoes their brand positioning on an annual, biannual basis. So to me, one of the first things that's fundamental to create this sense of authenticity and create a sense of belonging is not only understanding the deep insight, emotional insight or benefit that you bring to someone's life, but it's also the ability to know who you are over time and not stray from that. And to that point, the use of influencers, which, I started in marketing when we were like just starting to use celebrities, and now it's obviously at an exponential degree, which is interesting because the generations that are in today are fully aware that these people are paid to tell them what's good. And it's interesting because there's still scandals within that. You can still know that someone's getting paid to do it and believe them sometimes and then get mad other times. Yeah, so I think that's interesting, but they do think of influencers as a shortcut, but I agree with you that it doesn't work like it did in 2009.
Exactly. And I think that's so true. Taylor has owned her center of gravity, right? From when she first came out to where she is now. There is this center of gravity that she knows and leans into, and that gives her permission to communicate how she's growing, changing, going through ups and downs in her own journey, personal and career journey, and sharing that with her audience. Where companies are failing and brands are failing is they do not know or they're not owning their center of gravity. And once they do, two things happen. It allows them to morph to the audience needs and change over time. Two, I really think this, I don't know what else to call it, but it's like you know who you are to your core and you're constantly communicating that. Some things never really change, like your mission, your vision, what you stand for, what you're passionate about. Those may morph a little bit over time, but in essence, like there's this true essence about yourself. And I think when you really, really, really lean into that, you start to create a signal rather than being a part of all the noise that exists in the world. And that is one thing that Taylor has done so extremely well. And I think to your point, speaking about brands trying to change every year, you can't, it seems you don't know what you're doing and you're disingenuous and you're trying to fit yourself into a community you haven't even nurtured in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think brands really create that center of gravity for themselves and get a hold of their mission, purpose, vision, their essence. What are they here for? Then they will attract their community that then they can nurture and expand upon. And I think that's the big difference that we're seeing here.
I love that difference of being a signal as opposed to part of the noise, because it's really like I can receive it at that point. And I was just thinking as you were saying the true essence of yourself and why you exist. No, like why you exist and how that is. And I was thinking about who does this really well. I go back to it was sort of like an anthem spot for the Olympics that P&G did, where it was not on the athletes, it was the athletes' moms, right? And how I'll tear up thinking about it right now.
Love it.
And it's one of the most powerful spots I've ever seen produced in my entire life. And that's exactly what they do. And that's why they do so well, is that they are not about getting your clothes wider. They are not about soft shirts. They are about giving you the tools to be a better mom for your children. That is so rich and as you say, a signal as opposed to like 20% off, buy two, get one free. Like I will always buy the product that helps me to be a better mom as opposed to the one that's like 10 cheaper than everyone else.
It's so true. And I love that because you are, like you just said, I could cry thinking about it. They are evoking emotion from you. So there is something to that. That emotion creates a trigger and a memory in your body. Like that is stored in your body as a memory. And that's where power comes. And when we talk about how Taylor is so authentic and sharing and activating those feelings and emotions show up in her fan base, which create that sense of belonging and trust and following. And brands doing that, that's really powerful, pivotal thing. Because also, if I think about myself as an individual and the brands I follow or the brands I will purchase, honestly, I am probably going to discover them in my own kind of circle of influence of just what I see on my social media accounts, right? What are the algorithms showing me? But also my personal connections, my friends, my network, my colleagues. What products are they recommending to me because they love it so much? There's emotional tie for them that they're willing to tell me about it. And that becomes where you're really creating a signal over noise because you have this community sharing this emotion that this product gives you and why you, my friend, must have it as well. And I think that's a really powerful force.
Yeah, and that's interesting about also the media mix, right? That you're
Yeah.
not necessarily open to unless there's like a brand new product that brands really need to work at a grassroots level about to come up in an authentic way now, especially because we're all so used to the advertising. We know there's so much cynicism now around advertising and brands and the whole purchase chain, right? That
Like,
I'll see it, I might laugh, but you still haven't flipped the switch. And I was at Web Summit in November and I saw a speech. I can't remember the guy's name. He has an agency and he was doing this speech on persuasion. I come from a different school of advertising and marketing where the first thing you have to do is nail down your brand essence, nail down your brand personality, how that brand is going to speak and how that brand is going to connect with you. Now, what I see in companies is they're not worried about connection, they're worried about engagement. And he was doing a speech talking about the difference between engagement and persuasion. And I thought that this was common knowledge. And I think this is the thing in where brands are losing their sight right now is that the persuasion comes from contact, personal contact, a sense of belonging. I see myself, I see my needs, I see that you get me, and therefore we connect on another level. Even if you are a toothpaste brand or you sell tires, right? I have seen some of the best work in advertising come from the most banal categories. You don't have to be
Sure.
Nike to do something amazing. But if we're only looking for how do I get more likes and saves, that is a very different objective than how do I convert this person into wanting to be part of my universe?
Yeah. Oh my God. I love the point you're making. And I totally agree with you. You could make the most beautiful image on social media or the funniest video on social media and get your like, but that doesn't mean that anyone's going to follow through and purchase. There's this whole conversation that has to happen. And I think looking at that ecosystem is so prevalent and important. And I think that like I myself, I am so protective personally with my inputs and my energy. And I see that other people are becoming more protective of their inputs and energy. And so, if we are creating boundaries around how we're interacting online and socially and limiting that, then you really have to think about as a brand, how and when are you going to be able to engage and hold the attention of your audience? And does engagement matter or does persuasion matter more? I mean, I think this is a great discussion even to continue. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's something I've literally been like metabolizing since November, especially because Instagram, TikTok, they're great for eyeballs, they're great for numbers, but they are terrible for converting into sales because
Right.
we're not looking to persuade, we're looking to entertain. And I'll, you can have my laugh, but it doesn't mean your product has clicked with me. And so we're missing a sense of connection and that I like that you belong in my life and I belong to your brand.
Yeah. And it's like, how can you bridge that gap? And I think some of the ways you can do that is really activating this sense of community, even with direct customers and having customers talk about the product and the brand. And then those customers say, oh, look at me, I'm being featured, right, with this brand. I'm going to share it with my network. And that's where kind of that network personal connection comes in because, hey, I've been selected by this brand to share how it's so pivotal and impactful in my life. And I'm happy to do that. That's kind of flipping the influencer model a little bit because this is not something that, someone that would necessarily be paid for to do. It's just a genuine like testimonial almost. But then you can share that with others. And I think that creates this sense of just deeper engagement that could be really powerful.
Yeah, and I think we've seen in the last like year or so that some of the bigger it's obviously harder for companies that are like luxury goods or cars and stuff like that, but they've been kind of moving away from the big influencers and into more micro key clients or key customers. So like, the ones who are on Mom Talk or the ones, who would be the person who recommends things to. And I think the first audience that any brand wants to do it with is their internal audience because, and this has been coming up in the conversations throughout, that if your company is not clear on what your values are, if they don't feel like those values are correct or lived or encouraged, nurtured within, then it is very unlikely that that will be successful outside. So the first place to sort of clean house is within to make sure that it emanates and then it
Yeah.
goes towards the outside because it's like the signal. It's like once we get it right, then that's what we put out because we're all aligned on what this brand is about, what our mission is, how we're going to speak, who we are in the world, and the people that we want to be along with us on this journey.
I completely agree. It's just like us as individuals. If we don't do the inner work first, the outward stuff is just fluff, superfluous. And again, all these deficits in authenticity that other people can sense, by the way. So I 100% agree with that and feel very, very kind of enriched by what you just said because those brands do need to take all the time it requires to go inward, find their center of gravity, get everyone on board with that, by the way. And whoever is not aligned with that, that creates a gap in your authenticity and vulnerability. And you need to consider if that person can succeed somewhere else. But taking the inward time to invest in that can be so powerful because if you skip that step or you do just a little bit of the work and then go out into the world, people will see the deficits that exist. There is so much content interaction today in this world that, I mean, that vulnerability, authenticity has to be there 100% for that community to be formed.
Yeah. And I mean, we see the results in Taylor's fan base that for better or worse, she can do no wrong. Like they will go to bat and actually it even makes them strong. The sense of belonging is so strong that anytime someone attacks her, the community gets stronger.
Yeah, it's so true. And that is so powerful, by the way. I mean, so powerful. I was certainly amazed. I watched the Grammys a few weeks ago. I do not follow Taylor on Instagram, but during her acceptance speech, she mentioned the launch of her album, right?
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm going to go to Instagram and see like how many people are reacting to this. And I literally pulled up, like I took screenshots of it. So within 23 minutes of her posting this album release in her acceptance speech at the Grammys, she had 2.9 million likes. And within 50 minutes, she had 5.9 million likes. And that just blew my mind. It was like, wow. And that's incredible.
I think an 8-second audio from her phone leaked somehow. I don't know how. I don't know the backstory, but they listened to it so much that it was number one. It was the number one streamed song of the week, right? So
Even though it was silenced.
She jokes about it now, but this is what I'm saying. When you have people so faithful to you, devoted, because they feel like you, and this came up in several other episodes also, is that she does so much work, right? She doesn't put in 100%. She puts in 150 and it's visible all the time that you feel so respected as someone who is giving her money, right? You're clear on the relationship. It's transactional, but she gives so much of herself to make a product that's so good that you feel very respected as a customer or as a client, that you want to go the extra length for her.
Right. That's a word, Erica, that we haven't discussed today during this episode, is that respect. And I think that comes into the hierarchy of needs. And I also think it layers into when we talked about that just core need to feel validated, which maybe you could put respect in that bucket, and loved. But how can brands bring in respect? Like, how do you bring that in, even in a transactional way, when you're interacting with your community, your customers, and your clients? And I don't have the answer to that right now, but I think it's something really valuable to think about.
And it's interesting because I think we all very much feel brands' commitment and efforts to their shareholders and financial responsibilities, but I don't know that we feel the same respect coming this way. And I think that's why everybody's like, oh, well, nobody's faithful to brands anymore. Well, if we've decided that we're not exclusive, then I don't need to be faithful. Right?
It's so true. And you also have these companies doing good deeds and like planting trees or giving products when you purchase a product, but that's not respect towards me as the consumer of the brand. That's respect for something else. So how do you layer in that respect and honor in all facets of that company's architecture, that brand's architecture? And that's challenging. It's challenging.
And there's certainly brands that, there are brands that are phenomenal at it, and they tend to be more in the B Corp section, like a Patagonia is always going to be respectful. And I think we're going to see a lot more brands enter into the B Corp universe because people are really starting to gravitate towards those choices. It's like, oh, it can be done. Chloe is a huge fashion brand, right? B Corp. So it's not impossible. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
making certain choices. It can be done.
Again, that center of gravity, that essence of the true brand and what it is and what it stands for, and not veering too far from that. It's just, it boils all down to that.
All right. Well,
Amazing.
thank you so much, Melissa, for being here and sharing your wisdom with us.
Absolutely, Erica. Thanks for having me. This was so much fun.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Scintillations. If you've enjoyed listening to us, please subscribe, rate, and review. It helps us share our learnings with more curious and interested people like yourself. See you next time.